Many people have criticized Kiznaiver for the absurdity of its central conceit. Looking at it logically, there's no way that the Kizna system is a feasible way of bringing about world peace, so it just ends up being some gimmicky piece of sci-fi tech put into place to give the show an interesting premise. The thing is that on the former of those 2 points, Kiznaiver itself seems to agree. We don't see it at first, but with the series now over, we have been told quite clearly that those who advocated and worked for the Kizna system were wrong. The Kiznaiver project is winding down, with the majority of its financial backers now withdrawing their support after seeing that it was indeed a flawed premise. At the end of episode 10, we are presented with the most striking results of the system's failure, the vegetative subjects of its experimentation. But more importantly than being told that the technology itself didn't work as well as was initially hoped, multiple characters also make remarks about how futile the whole thing was from a conceptual level in hindsight. Specifically the pair of scientists Yamada and Urushibata, who probably display the most regret and guilt. For a series to build its initial premise on a novel worldview, in this case the idea that forced total empathy could bring about world peace, and then to challenge and refute that same notion is a bold move, and Kiznaiver deserves some praise for pulling it off as well as it does. This is, incidentally, also the only thing I can think of that defends Hisomu's existence as a character. His masochism reveals a very clear flaw in the Kizna system. It is what Kiznaiver does after this that really justifies it, though. Refuting an idea is fine, but it seems somewhat trite to do so for an idea that the series itself invented, one that has no close parallel in the real world. What Kiznaiver does at the beginning of episode 11 is provide an alternative. In essence, the series uses the failure of the Kizna system as a point with which it supports the validity of its true message. The first thing we see in episode 11 is that final scene of episode 10 again. Then after the OP, Katsuhira, Hisomu, and Nico get on the underground train to return home. Katsuhira is deep in thought, still visibly shaken by what he has just seen, and Nico asks him what his friends were like before, shaking him and insisting he remembers when he tells her that he does not. Hisomu says that she should leave Katsuhira alone, but she replies with an insistent no, followed by what I believe to be the series' true message. We have to share information because we aren't connected by the Kizna system anymore. If we still want to connect, we can't just keep waiting. We each have to try to connect on our own. Nico serves as a great mouthpiece for this idea, because it is the very sentiment that she has echoed all series, desperately trying to get her fellow Kiznaivers to take the initiative to connect and become friends, instead of avoiding interaction or simply waiting for the Kizna system to do the work for them. In episode 12, the idea is fleshed out even more fully, by facing its staunchest opposition in the form of Sonozaki Nori. By pitting these two stances, one maintaining that the Kizna system enables a level of interpersonal connection that people would otherwise be unable to achieve, and the other championing this idea of proactive self-empowerment against each other, we are given a strong case as to why the latter is a valid viewpoint, because it faced a legitimate ideological challenge. The battle of ideals works not only on this thematic level, but also helps to develop the characters. The big one is Sonozaki, who is able to overcome her fear that all of her relationships will fade away without some superstructure forcibly maintaining them. But someone like Maki also receives a bit of development when she finally accepts the term friendship to describe her relationship with the other characters. As someone who suffered from severe social anxiety during my early high school years, this message really hit home for me. Whether it informs antisocial individuals such as Hisomu and Katsuhira that they would be happier if they made the effort to try to connect with others, individuals who put on social facades such as Yuta that they would feel more comfortable and fulfilled if they decide to be who they really are, people who are hiding their feelings like Chidori, that those secrets will only strain their relationships with those that they hide them from, or traumatized people such as Maki that they shouldn't let the pain from the past prevent them from trying to find joy in the future. Kiznaiver takes this somewhat simple message and gives us a variety of personal situations that it is applicable to. It asks us to put aside that passivity that is all too easy to adopt, and instead work to create a place where we can be happy, because no higher power, no system, is going to do that for us.